report from the nonprofit Environmental Working Group, or EWG, found that several popular brands of cereal and oatmeal and granola and snack bars may contain glyphosate. So that's the same active ingredient found in the weed killer Roundup. All right, shock here. Dr. Eric Steele from Holistic Family Medicine is in Virginia Beach, and she's here to explain what this can mean for our children's health. Okay, so when I heard that news, I was stunned. I'm like, Roundup, what, the weed killer is in my kids' food?
Yes.
So what do we do as parents?
So I think, you know, the most important thing is to stay educated and be aware of what you're actually putting in your body, right? And that's universal, right? We shouldn't kind of be mindlessly just going in. I mean, we just listened to a whole grocery store that's all about that conscious awareness. A lot of people, especially families, are very busy. They don't have time to read every single ingredient. Right. You know, that's why I really promote more of a whole food, plant-based diet where, you know, if it doesn't grow, you know, in a tree, or you can't pick it, it doesn't have vital force life energy in it, then you pretty much know. Most of those foods that, you know, they found, they were foods that were in boxes, in bags, they were processed foods, you know, so we kind of already knew, you already knew intuitively that those foods don't necessarily have all the greatest things in them, but I think we just needed a little extra wake-up call to say, wait a second, what are we doing to ourselves?
How do we discover this? I mean, I look at, you know, the packaging and how many sugars and added sugars and all of those things, because I know those are bad for us, but like, how did we come upon, you know, upon this, that there was the same thing in Roundup?
Yeah, well, I always say I have this funny analogy when I'm talking about, you know, food. It's kind of like a mullet. It's business in the front, party in the back. So like in the front, it'll say like, you know, heart healthy, organic, whatever. But then you flip it over and you look at the ingredients. There's a couple like literal rules of thumb. One, you put your finger on their thumb on there, and if the ingredients list is longer than that, you know it's not healthy. But I think just over time, you know, with trying to help with the growth population, you know, of all the people and trying to feed, you know, they use the herbicides to be able to cut down on some of the weeds, and then now it's just kind of spun out of control. Now we have genetically modified foods, you know, they were trying to kind of replicate different seeds and things like that. I don't think at the time, like they weren't thinking, oh, this is gonna, you know, this is some sinister plan, you know, it was just, they were trying to really help with the ever-growing population and feeding everyone.
Okay, so how does it impact a child that's exposed over a long period of time to this?
So herbicides can affect neurological system, the hormonal system, so like focus, concentration, you know, behavioral. It also, heavy metals tend to combine with minerals in the body, so that can create all kinds of even aversions to food, especially when like teens, they start to have, you know, their periods, their cycles and things like that. It can throw that off. It has a lot of long-term impacts, unfortunately, if it's not caught and treated, and that's why detoxification, even though now it's kind of a fad, it really has been something that's been in holistic healthcare practice for, you know, ages. Because of all the ever-growing toxicities that are in our environment. We want to be mindful of them, not afraid of them, we just want to be mindful of them so that we can decrease those out of our bodies.
In your personal opinion, do you think that this is connected to all of the issues that children are having today? You're seeing, you know, children that are very large or developed at a very early age. You're seeing children with focus problems. And do you think it's somewhat related to this at all?
I think environmental has a lot to do with the impacts. I mean, I think our food supply, I think what we're eating, you know, we're kind of eating more fast on the go, we're not eating whole foods, and it really puts a lot of stress on the liver. The liver has two main important jobs. You can't live without a liver, right? And so it's to metabolize all the nutrition that you're eating, so your proteins, your fats, your carbohydrates, but also to eliminate toxins. So if the food that you're eating, that you're supposed to be digesting, is toxic, you know, what do you think is going to happen to the body? The metabolism is just going to go through all kinds of havoc. And so the metabolism starts to slow because it doesn't identify the food as food, because it's really not food. It's junk. And so, and then the body can't detoxify it properly. So.
Well, you have a wellness event too, where people can get more information, they can find out how they can feed their families properly. Tell us about it.
Yes, definitely. We have 3 children's health classes where we teach parents, moms, and dads especially, you know, how to really help their children and their children's health. So we always have about 3 or 4 dates. So we have September 15th at 2:30, September 17th at 5:30, and September 28th at 5:30 p.m. And again, all of our wellness classes are complimentary till the end of the year.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Steele, and check out those labels, parents out there.
Please do.